Good evening, folks. I'd like to welcome Representative Mary Madison from West Des Moines here in Polk County. She's running for reelection, and so she's been endorsed by us previously too, of course, and has been a member the last, I think, 5 years now. So we do appreciate that support. So without further ado, Representative Madison, I'm going to give the floor to you for the next 5 or 6 minutes. Then we'll do the questions.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for this opportunity to speak with you and clarify any issues that might have come up, and also to tell you just a little bit about myself and why I'm in the race. Uh, I'm Mary Madison. I've lived in Iowa for the last 25 years, in West Des Moines for 24 of those years. I began my career as a teacher, elementary and preschool, and then to school counseling, and I'm also a minister. And I think all of those things, all of those facets have helped me in legislation because I'm dealing with people at their very best times and at their worst times. And I'm looking at legislation in terms of how it affects the people once it's left those chambers, once we've voted on them. And so that's primary criteria when I'm voting. How does it affect the people, not only that I'm serving, but the people in the state? And I also look at the national uh, uh, issues that are paramount because we used to say all politics is local, but basically it appears to be uh, federal and local, and we get to respond to what's happening on the federal level, and some of it's not very good. So anyway, I'm let's see. I started a nonprofit called Children and Families First. It started at I'd say 2006. My church was taking care of families in a Bible study and also other feeding programs. And so the minister asked me, since I have a counseling background, if I would help the families get resources in the community, get the kids back in school, things like that. And so I did that, and I thought there was a need. So we sold the church sold those buildings to Anawim because, they couldn't, churches aren't normally doing housing. And so they thought Anawim could do it better. But I kept the nonprofit because of the need in the community. And presently, I do not see families, but at that time, I saw families around school-related issues and um, lots of problems, resources in the community, and just making connections for them where they needed it, food, all kinds of things. And I decided to go into the legislature. Actually, someone called me up and said that they couldn't run and would I consider running? And I thought at first, no. But then I thought, I'm talking about it. If someone asked me about any issue in the community, I would go on and on, even at the dinner table, on and on about it. So I thought, an opportunity presents itself, and you have to think about what will you do with it. And so I decided, yes, if it's for me, I will be elected. And I worked at it with the help of lots of other people, and I was elected. And my pursuit as I do this work is to make a difference. And I know people say that, but I want to sponsor legislation that impacts the lives of people in a positive way. And I've had the opportunity to do that in several instances. And because it's 100 people, everybody's got an opinion on something and a bill they'd like to pass. We have to work with each other, even the people who are hard to work with. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. hope I've covered everything.
Well, I think you've done an excellent job there, Representative Madison. We do appreciate your time and your service over the last several years here and your work previously. I'm going to give the floor to Patrick Borchak. Patrick's our chair of our election endorsement committee. He will ask you two or three questions, whatever time permits. And then of course, towards the very end, we'll give you a minute or two to talk about anything you would like to. Then I would just explain the process over the next few days here. So, Patrick, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mitch. And hello, Representative Madison. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Hello, thank you.
So, as you know, part of the vetting process for the endorsement was we gave you an alignment questionnaire to complete and send it to us. We reviewed that, and we have a few clarifying questions for you. So the
Okay.
first one was environment question number 1, which asked what Iowa can do to harness the potential of the green economy to bring high-paying jobs to Iowa. So you answered that we should stop the cultural war on diversity, equity, inclusion, encourage wage equity with other cities, and stop banning things and start inviting people to live and grow and play in Iowa, which are all good things, but we don't really think that addressed the green economy question we asked. So please now take this opportunity to answer what Iowa can do to harness the potential of the green economy to bring high-paying jobs to Iowa.
Well, I use those references because nobody's going to come to, we need expertise in a lot of, I feel, in a lot of different things. And if we're going to promote a green economy, it's cyclical with people and jobs and ideas and innovation. And you don't get that if we're a community that's a family or a scientist or a doctor or a botanist, can go to so many other places. So the conditions where you live have to be right for all of these things. If you want psychologists, if you want to improve your budget, nobody's going to come. We've 50 other states and opportunities. So that's why I said that. So I think it's the innovation and the fact that we see the humanity in everybody. And when we do that, people want to work and they become part of the cycle of that innovation and creativity and investigation and work and other things and feed into the economy.
Okay, thank you. So now next question, education question number 1 asked if public post-secondary education should be free to students, and if yes, what limitations, if any, should apply? In your answer, you indicated your support for paid apprentice programs, but didn't address trade schools, 2-year colleges, or 4-year colleges. So now please tell us if you would support public 2-year, 4-year, and trade schools being free, and if yes, what limitations, if any?
Well, yes, I would support it, especially the apprentice program. I had several students come up, and they were so excited about the work that they were being trained in, the money, the future plans, and so in college, some isn't necessarily for everyone, and I think the options and the variety of options again will use the skills that our young people have. And my only concern about funding is our budget. I'm looking at the budget and saying, you know, the schools need to raise tuition and we want to lower tuitions so that kids can go to college without a large, coming out in debt. So to say that it's free, that would be wonderful. When we lived in Texas, the kids who scored 3.5 or 4, tuition was free. It was free to our daughter, and that was amazing. We only paid for her housing, and she grew and did extremely well. because the finances wasn't a problem. She called me and said, Mom, um, everybody's upset. The checks didn't come in, but I can still go to school. I'm not worried about it. So that's something we don't want over the heads of our young people, but we have to always figure a way how you're going to pay for that. And that should then be a priority. We have so many priorities that not, some of them are not people involved. And so I think that would be one that if our state decided, I think that would be an excellent thing. 2-year schools, apprenticeships, all of those things contribute to our society and to children across the diameter, because some kids want to go into science and math and all creative, dance and creative things, and other kids think about all the other resources we need just to live in the community that they can get through a trade and a great salary.
Okay, thank you. Mitch, do we have time for one more short question?
One more short question, yes, with one short answer.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay.
So, final question is healthcare question number 4, which asked if you support expanding the legalization of cannabis and to what extent. In your answer, you stated that you think people should have the option to try it as a possible source of relief from pain and other ailments, and that it should be available with the patient's welfare in mind. Okay, so aside from medical, would you support legalizing cannabis for recreational use?
Uh, let's see. As yes and no. And this might get me into trouble, but I always have to be, you know, no use pretending. Um, Cannabis, I think, would be fine, but we lived in a community but I guess that was marijuana. And the guy driving the train was smoking at the time, and the thing ran off the track. Somebody else was in a car accident. So if people can police themselves, and that's a choice people make, I don't want to make it for them. And if you can do that and not involve in a dangerous way other people, I'm fine with it.
So similar to alcohol then.
Yes. Yeah. I don't want to
Okay.
bring another problem into the environment, into there's enough issues. But if you can police yourself and that's your remedy or your joy, okay.
All right. Thank you. Mitch, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative Madison. So we're going to close it out now. We'll give you like a minute and a half if you would like to say some final words, and I'll close it out from our end.
Well, I want to first thank you for all that the Unity Coalition does. And thank you, Mitch, and everyone else, Patrick and all those that might be listening, uh, for endorsing people, because endorsement tells people who really don't know you that, you're either a very great person, a good person, you can do the job, and that's helpful in terms of my campaign and the campaign of others. So I appreciate that. And I would also say that I like my job at the House. Sometimes it's not as good as I would like it to be, but I can always, when a bill comes out that we've passed and it makes a difference in someone's life, like the mammogram and the STEP program, to stop the steps instead of having to go through so many different steps. You just get what you need at the doctor's prescription. That has helped so many people. And there are just a number of things that have really, I can see the impact on the lives. And so it's worth all the trouble.